Hello and welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be playing Jeskai Blink. I think this is maybe our third time on the channel playing Jeskai Blink. Might be second, I can't quite remember. This card, very dominant in the format right now. It's staying within the top 5 ever since its RC win in Houston about a month ago. And it's very clear to see why. This is just like the premier mid-range deck. It's doing a lot of fair/unfair things. It's doing the fair thing in the fact that the way it's trying to win the game is control out the opponent a little bit and then beat down. It doesn't have like some type of alt win con like Goblin Charbelcher or something like that. But the deck is very powerful. And most of the deck revolves around Phelia, Exuberant, Shepherd. It has Flash, and whenever it attacks, you exile up to one other target non-land permanent. At the beginning of the next end step, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. If it entered under your control, put a counter on Phelia. So, what makes Phelia so good is blinking. Just as much blinking as you really want. You can blink your opponent's stuff, your stuff. So something you can do is blink your Cryogen Relic. New card to the deck, by the way. I'm trying this out. Looks pretty interesting. Whenever this artifact enters or leaves the battlefield, you draw a card. So turn 2, you flash in Phelia during your opponent's end step. Turn 3, you play Cryogen Relic, draw 1 card. Phelia attack, exile Cryogenic Relic, draw a 2nd card. And then on the return trigger, you'll draw a 3rd card. So Cryogen Relic and Phelia just is an engine that draws you 2 cards per turn. Similarly with Thundertrap Trainer, whenever this creature enters, you'll look at the top 4 cards of your library, you can reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom in a random order. So plenty of things to grab off Thundertrap Trainer: Ephemerate, Consign to Memory, Strix Serenade, Prismatic Ending, Galvanic Discharge, Wrath of the Skies, Cryogen Relic, Teferi. And plenty of sideboard cards to grab. Thundertrap Trainer should hopefully rarely miss. And again, with Phelia, you can just blink it over and over again, keep grabbing more non-lands. You can Ephemerate this thing and keep getting non-lands. It works especially well with Ephemerate, because if this thing find Ephemerates, you Ephemerate it. You get to find something else, then the Ephemerate rebounds, you get to find something else off the Thundertrap Trainer. And at this point, you've dug like 12 cards deep in your library, so if you have a particular non-creature, non-land card that interacts with the opponent very well, Thundertrap Trainer's helping you dig for it. Other things we're trying to blink: Quantum Riddler, flying. Whenever this creature enters, draw a card. As long as you have 1 or few cards in hand, you draw 1 more card. And it warps for 2, so again, flash in Phelia during your opponent's turn 2. Turn 3, you warp in the Quantum Riddler, blink it with Phelia, you drew a card, now you draw another card, and you have a 4/6 flyer round. Really difficult to deal with in the format right now. You need something like Solitude to deal with it, possibly an Unholy Heat if they can set it up quick enough. You also don't mind blinking something like Solitude if you already have a Solitude out. You exile it, bring it back, gets rid of a creature. You can blink Teferi with it, because it can just blink any non-land permanent, including Planeswalkers. So the idea is you down-tick Teferi, get rid of something of your opponent's, draw a card, Phelia blink it, it comes back with 4 on it, then during your next turn you can down-tick it again, return something, draw a card. And if your opponent's the type of deck that only casts 1 card per turn, Teferi plus Phelia can really lock them out of the game. So other things that this deck is trying to do is just control out the opponent. So we're playing Wrath of the Skies as a board wipe. We're playing Prismatic Ending to hit some small stuff. Galvanic Discharge to hit some small stuff. Strix Serenade to hit artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers. I think Strix Serenade is also particularly good in this deck because of Phelia. So if you counter something of your opponent's, they get the 2/2. Phelia just exiles that 2/2 and they'll never get it back because it's a token. We're playing Ephemerate, so kind of have more effects of Phelia, so we could Ephemerate our Solitude, Quantum Riddler. This one only hits creatures, and those are the main 2 you're going to want to hit in the deck, but there are times where you want to hit Phlage. We have Consign to Memory, which counters triggered abilities or colorless spells. Here we're mostly using it to counter triggered abilities, so we can counter the triggered ability off Quantum Riddler. To stop it from warping away, we can counter the escape trigger on Phlage, so the part where it says if it enters, sacrifice it unless it escaped. Turn 4, we can haste this guy in, consign to memory the trigger that would get rid of it, and now we're attacking for 12 on turn 4, and also getting to spread some damage around, do a bunch of removal. We can consign to memory the Phelia trigger, so if we exile something of the opponent's, we can keep it exiled by consigning to memory the trigger that returns it from Phelia. Ragavan is just here as like a good 1-drop. Because we're not playing that many creatures, all things considered. Just Ragavan, Phelia, Phlage, Solitude, Quantum Riddler. We need something to hit in fast, and this also provides us treasures to ramp into some of our stuff. If we hit things with the opponents, we can cast those pretty comfortably. We're a 3-color deck, so if they're green or black, then that's the only time where they get difficult to cast, but still we get the treasures, so unless it's multiple green or multiple black, something like an Endurance maybe, that's the only time it would be difficult. Galvanic Discharge works really well with Wrath of the Skies, where you can Galvanic Discharge something, just keep the 3 energy, and then Wrath of the Skies for however much you really need to. Mana base, fetches, shocks, 1 of each Surveil, 1 of each basic plus an extra planes, and 2 Arena of Glory. This deck is great to Arena of Glory with, so obviously Arena of Glory works great with Phlage. There's turns where you'll want to split it with like Phelia and another creature, so I've had it where, you know, maybe I just need to remove one of the opponent's blockers, so I haste Phelia and maybe a Quantum Riddler, attack for 6 on turn 4, getting rid of the opponent's blocker and maybe just killing them then. You can use it along with Ragavan, so maybe turn 3 you just want to haste a Phelia and a Ragavan. Because you can put the 1 mana into Ragavan. Arena of Glory just works particularly well in this kind of list. All the cards in the deck just come together to perform this highly synergistic thing that I think this deck has just mostly replaced Boros Energy as the fair deck in the format. Then in the sideboard, we've got 2 Wrath of the Skies to deal with the go low decks. High Noon for things like Prowess and Affinity, things where they're wanting to cast multiple spells a turn. 1 more Strix Serenade to deal with artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers. 3 Mystical Disputes for the blue decks. Force of Negation for non-creatures. Subtleties for creatures and planeswalkers. Surgical Extraction and Ghost Vacuum for the graveyard decks. And then 4 Obsidian Charmaw, mostly for the Eldrazi decks. And again, it's one of these cards that just works great with things like Phelia and Ephemerate. You can cast this card, blow up a land, attack with Phelia, blow up another land, then you can Ephemerate it, blow up another land. Like, the whole deck just works really incredibly together. It's one of the decks I'm considering taking to Vegas this weekend. But yeah, I've been rambling on long enough about how great the deck is. Let's hop into some games. One quick comms burst before we dive into today's league match. Cadets, I don't want this channel to be just my mission log. I want it to be our shared voyage, so I'm cracking open the hatch and inviting all you stellar travelers aboard. A few of you have already been backing this mission, and I want to give a special salute to those cadets. Sai, the celery guy. Pink. Mario Cifuentes. TR Piff. Taylor Pack. And Cast Form. Your cards have officially joined the Match 1 transition. This week, I want you all to drop your favorite blue Magic cards in the comment below. I'll be selecting some of you to spotlight in the Match 2 transition, complete with a shout out to the cadet who suggested it. Don't worry, the rest of the color pie is cleared for Launch 2. Black, red, and green will each get their time in orbit soon. By the end of this journey, I want our transition to be galaxy tier filled with your favorite cards beaming through the stars. Share this transmission with your crew. Let's gather as many cards as we can to build the constellation of our channel's art. Thanks for the out of this world support, and I'll strap in and let's jump into the league. Alright, we're on the play. I think this is a fine hand here. We'll keep. Got Ragavan, turn 1, turn 2. We can Prismatic Ending whatever they play, and Phelia. I think we're chilling here. We've got Solitude in case we need it. Alright, let's just slam down the Ragavan here. We'll go for a Sacred Foundry. And on to the opponent. Alright, so they dash Ragavan, we Solitude it. And then in their instep, let's just go for the Phelia here. And hopefully they don't just Solitude this back. Okay, great top deck, Quantum Riddler here. Let's land, warp Quantum Riddler. I don't think we could have asked for a better top deck there. Attack with Phelia. Target our Quantum Riddler. another card. Okay, mostly lands. Onto the opponent. We are holding up a Galvanic Discharge here. Okay, we see Phlage from the opponent. That is gonna get our Phelia here. Okay, let's just land, swing with Quantum Riddler. And then I'll Ephemerate and Galvanic Discharge during their turn as we see fit. Okay, I'm feeling a lot more confident that this is just Boros energy. Okay, Static Prism. We will Ephemerate. Ooh, Ragavan, okay. Let's go ahead and Surveil. Take a Thundering Falls here. Into the graveyard with the land. Now, would we prefer deal 4 damage or draw a card? I think we'd prefer draw a card here. Okay, we're sitting pretty good here. Thundertrap Trainer's not bad. Let's just lead off Dash Ragavan. See if we can get anything good from the opponent first. Okay, just land there. Let's play out Flooded Strand, go for the Thundertrap Trainer. Might be a better draw, or might be better to play next turn, but I think I just want to keep getting cards out of hand if possible. We'll take a Consign to memory. And if we wanted to, we could keep our Ragavan around. I think I'd prefer just keep up the Consign here. Whoops, sorry guys, I was paused there. Opponent attacked, they got their Elegant Parlor to do the thing with the Phlage. Then they attacked, Voice of Victory, us, Warrior tokens coming there. Phlage killed the Quantum Riddler, we blocked with the Thundertrap Trainer on the Phlage. Here we're just going to Surveil. We'll put that in the graveyard. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we can just clean up their entire board here. So let's Voice of Victory that. Or get the Voice of Victory. Let's go ahead and Solitude the Phlage. And then let's Shock in the Steam Vents. And Prismatic the Ajani. Okay, so we've successfully board wiped the opponent. We're both kind of in top deck mode. We've got a Ragavan and Consign to memory, though, where they've only got the 3 cards in hand that they have, and one of them's an Arid Mesa. And they should be out of Elegant Parlors at this point. So, no Phlage in graveyard here. I think we're even kind of set up for Blood Moon. I kind of forgot to play around Blood Moon, but we have the Plains and Island, so we'll be good there. There's Phlage on our Solitude. Now we have another Phlage to worry about. Quantum Riddler's not a bad top deck though, so let's dash the Ragavan in. We can just hardcast Quantum Riddler here. Draw 2. Let's attack the opponent here, see what we can get. Opponent's at 28 because of Solitudes. A Johnny seems pretty nice. Yeah, we'll play in a Johnny. And we're just always going to have to choose no on this because it returns to the opponent's hand. Or opponent's field flipped. Okay, God of Souls from the opponent. Oh, and Seasoned Pyromancer, that's good for them. I think we might Teferi and bounce our own Cryogen Relic here to just draw a ton of cards. I think Cryogen Relic's like secret spicy tech for this deck. Okay, or we could just Phlage. Phlage is pretty nice. Let's go for Phlage. Hit their Guide of Souls. And then let's Phlage again. It doesn't really matter what we exile here. Okay, and opponent concedes it to us there. Let's see what we've got in sideboard. I don't want to over sideboard on them here, so I think we're going to cut 4 Ragavan and a Cryogen Relic. They can just block the Ragavan too easily, have tons of removal for the Ragavan. Ragavan gets worse with the Wrath of Skies being in. And Cryogen Relic's really meant for these grindier matchups, and even though this can get grindy, I think we still have to worry about our life total enough, so we're bringing in a Ghost Vacuum for the Phlages, Strix Serenade to counter the creatures, 2 Wrath of Skies as a board wipe, and Subtlety for whatever creature we might need to deal with. And truthfully, just using Phlages as removal seems fine with me. We have an Arena of Glory. We've got enough lands to cast them. Most of them are fetch lands. I think we're kind of chilling this game. I mean, opponent could have a very quick start on us, but I think we'll be okay. And then Phelia plus Thundertrap Trainer is always fun too. Let's just lead off Flooded Strand go. Attack with the God of Souls. Oh, I think they had a mulligan too. Okay, and there's an Ocelot Pride. I'll go ahead and be getting value out of that. Let's go ahead and grab our Meticulous Archive. I think almost no matter what it is, we're putting it to bottom unless it's great for us. And to the graveyard it goes. Okay. And here I feel inclined to go for... I don't know, Thundertrap Trainer can also block here, but they can probably just jump next turn with Guide of Souls. I think keeping the Phelia in the block is going to be a good move, so let's just go Arid Mesa go. Phelia can also just start exiling some of these cat tokens the Ocelot Pride is making. Or resetting things that were jumped with Guide of Souls. Phelia is just like insane. I don't know how I was ever only on 3 in this deck. I think 4's the right number, especially once you bring in the Thundertrap Trainers and the Cryogen Relic. Like, just gives you even more stuff to bounce of your own. The Teferi's are really good to bounce with it. Quantum Riddler is obviously nice. Solitude's just a card that you can use. Oh, okay. Oh, man, I keep messing up today with the timing of my recording. We just Phlaged their cat there. Okay, Johnny for the opponent. Hopefully their last card in hand isn't Goblin Bombardment here, then we might just be dead on the spot. Okay, we're not dead on the spot. We are taking a hefty amount of damage, but we do get to Arena of Glory this Phlage right now. So hopefully this will help us stabilize a bit. As much as I'd like to kill this Guide of Souls here, I think we're just going to hit the Ajani for now. Now we'll just get rid of another creature. We're back up to 13. They're down to 22. Still got a good amount of life on us, but they're having to top deck a lot more than what we do. We've got Phlage, we've got Thundertrap Trainer, we've got Ephemerate, we've got Phelia. We've definitely got options of our own here. When it hits Elegant Parlor and just puts land in the graveyard. Oh, they're hasting something here. Oh man, they always finish off with a Seasoned Pyromancer. Oh, and a Static Prison for our Phlage, okay. Alright, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, they don't jump something. Land? Okay, not land. Really like to Phlage something just to try to stay alive a bit longer. I was really hoping to Ephemerate along with it though. I think we just have to go for Phlage here. The Guide of Souls is just a little out of reach for us. Oh, that's right. They couldn't jump because then they wouldn't be able to Static Prison. There's a gap for the opponent. So 5, 6, 7 possibly coming at us. We can Phlage Ephemerate during our turn. Yeah, we're just really on the back foot for this entire match. But the Phlages are really helping us stabilize against their aggression. So at this point, we might have to Prismatic Ending the Guide of Souls. And then just Phlage the cat here. They'll have 4 damage on us. We'll go down to 1. Yeah, I think that's exactly what we gotta do here. And hit the cat. We're dead to a Phlage. Dead to a lot here. We kind of need to find a Wrath off top. Okay, they throw even charm our graveyard. Honestly, we probably weren't getting to Phlage anytime super quick, so I think I'm fine with that. Oh, I just realized they can haste almost any creature into, and that's enough for us. Okay, we take 4. They can't jump. Perfect, Wrath of the Skies. Just what we needed here. So we Wrath for X equals 1, and then we can Ephemerate whenever we get the Phlage back to try to gain some more life. So X equals 1. Let's hit the opponent, and then Ephemerate our Phlage here, gain even more life. Alright, this gets us back up to 7, I believe. And opponent's in top deck mode. They do have Arena of Glory, but we're hopefully going to be able to build back up with Thundertrap Trainer and Phelia here. Their top deck's a land, good for us. Okay, no targets for the Ephemerate. Let's just cast the Thundertrap Trainer here. Take the Consign to memory. Don't think we're supposed to shock in the Consign to keep up Consign. We'll just play this as is and pass to the opponent. They put Ocelot Pride into the graveyard. Do the Season Pyromancer thing. Okay, opponent dashes in a monkey. They'll probably attack all here. We'll put in our Phelia. I think I'm happy taking the trade on the Ragavan with the Thundertrap Trainer here. Oh, an opponent concedes it there. GG, opponent. GG. Alright, we're on the play. This is a fine hand. We'll keep it. Alright, just lead off on red, blue, Steamboats. Cast out Ragavan, and then on to the opponent. And a Utopia Sprawl from the opponent. Trying to figure out what this means for us. Alright, attack the opponent. See if we can get some more information. Forest is not more information. We'll shock in a Thundertrap Trainer and see if we can find anything off of that. Oh, whiff. Okay. On to the opponent then. This is the one concern for me about Thundertrap Trainer. It does help you dig quite a bit for non-creature spells, but sometimes you will just whiff off of it. Oh, okay. Eldrazi. Oh, and they choose black here. Is this the black-green brood skills list, maybe? Witherbloom command. Destroy target non-creature, non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. And target creature gets -3/-1. Okay, that's actually kind of fire for the opponent. We'll just float a mana there. Okay. Well, fortunately, I think these consigned memories might be carrying some pretty good weight here. Unfortunately, our threat right now is a 1/2. Malevolent Rumble, we let it go. Okay, just looks like lands. Or land adjacent cards. They take the Eldrazi Temple here. Okay, another Thundertrap Trainer for us. Let's cast that. See if we can find anything. Surely we won't whiff twice, right? Okay, well this isn't drawing, so that's fine. And I think we'll have better things to use our consigned memories on. Okay, Prismatic, we'll take it. And we could try to throw them off of black mana here. Or we save up the consigned memory. Tough call. So next turn they'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nah, let's hold up the consigned memory. Okay, Ice to Explorer, and then opponent can just start going ham with the Ghost Quarters. So my question is, do we go ahead and just Solitude the Ice to Explorer? I'm gonna say yes. Because I just don't want this thing getting out of control, really. And then I don't normally consign to memory the Solitude trigger to keep Solitude around, but I think it's going to be pretty okay in this situation. And then we've still got 4 basics left in the library, I believe, because I think we're on 2 plains, an island, and a mountain. So Ghost Quarters, just one of them shouldn't be hurting us too much. Okay, land kind of sucks for us here. But we can freely attack out here. Opponent just takes it onto them. Opponent also missed playing their Eldrazi Temple last turn because after we got rid of the Icetill Explorer, they couldn't make their second land drop because of the trigger on it. They do get to play it now. Strategic Betrayal. We'll sacrifice a Thundertrap Trainer. I think we had anything important in our graveyard. No. Still trying to fully figure out what the opponent's trying to do here. So let's grab... kind of have our perfect trifecta. Let's just grab the Meticulous Archive. You know what? We'll take a Phlage. Phlage isn't nothing here. We can even consign to memory the Phlage trigger. Keep Phlage around. Let's see if they want to take a trade first. Okay, works for us. And then let's Phlage. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, they're going to be able to cast whatever they want to next turn anyways, if they have anything. Let's consign to memory this trigger. So I feel like right now we're kind of having to watch out for a K command. I'm hoping that's not what it is here. And that's not what it was. It feels like maybe just like a black-green mid-range deck that's using Eldrazi Temple to cast K commands as just like a very solid spell. Okay, looks like opponent top deck something good. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? What in the world did they get here? Oh, Emrakul. Yeah, I really wish we had that consigned to memory now. Maybe opponent was just waiting till we were tapped out. Okay, that's unfortunate. Ugh. Yeah, so they'll attack with Phlage, kill our Thundertrap Trainer, or maybe just use the consign to memory to counter the Phlage trigger. Probably kill our Phlage here. So let's see what they end up doing. They do consign the memory. Okay, they're just hitting us with the 3 damage. So we're not out of the game. Could top deck Solitude to deal with the Emrakul, and then we're both going back and forth trying to find something. Seems like a pretty sweet deck, though. Oh, and then they get to Ghost Quarter us. Actually, Solitude's no longer an option. They get to Ghost Quarter during our turn and then just fail to find. Kind of sucks for us. Okay, and then we draw Solitude. Okay, so them Ghost Courting us was important. On to the opponent. So if we top deck land or white card, we're not dead quite yet. Okay, so it might be bait, but I do think we consign a memory here. Oh wait, this can't be countered. Let's... Oh, is there no way to cancel Z? Spell Z? Okay. Cast with Replicate. We'll get the triggers at least. Just fully tap out here. I have no clue what I just targeted there. I'm hoping I got both of them. Okay. Alright, sometimes Consign to Memory is just really weird on MTGO. So we take 13 here. Okay, we're not dead yet. Quantum Riddler. You are kidding me. Okay, and then... Can't cast from the graveyard, we can't Solitude, and then they're just gonna fly over and kill us. Alright, opponent got that one. Concede it there. Let's see what we've got in sideboard. So we're gonna cut out a little bit of removal here. 2 Galvanic Discharge, a Prismatic Ending, and Wrath of the Skies. Most of their stuff is gonna be bigger. We did see Orcish Bowmasters, but it's not the end of the world for us. And then we're bringing in 4 Obsidian Charmaw, a Subtlety, and a Strix Serenade here. This seems fine. We'll keep. So we'll lead off on the Flooded Strand, and then from here we can go Phelia to Fairy, and hopefully Phelia to Fairy lock them. Okay, opponent Utopia Sprawls, that's not a problem. We'll just go ahead and grab our probably Meticulous Archive here. We need something blue. Yeah, I think Meticulous. Put it in the graveyard. We already have one. Hopefully they can't deal with the first one. Okay, here we'll just lead off Mountain Go. We'll flash in the Phelia during their turn, and then try to Teferi during ours. Hopefully they just don't have, like, Witherbloom Command here for the Phelia. Witherbloom Command seems pretty well positioned in the format right now, actually. Okay, Vexing Bauble. How much do we care about countering Vexing Bauble? Don't think enough. I kind of regret not keeping in the Wrath of the Skies, because this would be a great board to Wrath of the Skies in. And it feels like opponent's got the Witherbloom Command here. Or just Fatal Push, yeah. That happens. We still just have Teferi here. And then we'll bounce back... Just bounce like Utopia Sprawl or something here. Cut him off just a little bit of mana. Cryogen Relic came like a turn late, so we would have liked to have that alongside Teferi. We would just bounce that and got some value. Underground Mortuaries, they have 3 mana to work with. They can recast the Utopia Sprawl and still have 3 mana to work with, but this keeps them from having 4 mana this turn. Okay, loading up on a single forest here. No spells cast. Let's lead off land just in case. Cryogen Relic. See if we can draw anything here. Opponent can't have any responses because we've got Teferi out. Strix Serenade's not too bad. And then we'll pass it on to them. Okay, they sacrificed the Vexing Bauble here. So from our perspective, we're just playing a control game. Tormod's Crypt is only really an issue for Phlage. We'll allow it. I don't think that's the thing that we're getting baited by. Okay, and opponent's got nothing from here, so we'll grab probably something else blue. Grab Thundering Falls. Yeah, we don't need any more lands. Into the graveyard with that. Just uptick with the fairy. Play another land and onto the opponent. And then we've got Strix Serenade, Consign to Memory, Subtlety. Ideally, they give us something to Subtlety would be best. Okay, opponent must just have nothing but lands here. Or maybe just a bunch of creature removal. Let's grab the Elegant Parlor here. Put the Ephemerate in the graveyard. I think we're looking for better stuff here. Speaking of better stuff, uptick to fairy. We could consign to memory the Quantum Riddler. We could just cast out some of our other stuff. I think here we'll take it a little slow. Just go blue-red, warp in Quantum Riddler. And then we can cast Quantum Riddler on a later turn. Well, there's another Quantum Riddler. Yeah, let's shock this one in. Cast blue-white. Draw again. This time we hit a Ragavan. We'll go for the Ragavan next turn. So we're still keeping up Consign to Memory, Replicated, Strix Serenade, Subtlety, and we'll just do the Ragavan thing next turn. Opponent's just grabbing Overgrown Tomb. Opponent attempts to kill our Teferi. I think we just have to allow it here. Yeah, I mean, we don't have any responses for it. That's unfortunate. The Teferi was about to draw us like 3 cards next turn with the Cryogen Relic. Well, it still doesn't have much. So, if I wanted to, I could Arena of Glory, Quantum Riddler, and Ragavan. 6 mana, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'd only be holding up 1 mana. So let's Arena of Glory, and let's just play out a single Quantum Riddler here. Oh, whoops. I need blue mana. There we go. Okay, just drawing into more lands. I mean, we've got a Quantum Riddler on board now. Opponent's the one that's got to find answers. Especially with us having to Consign to Memory and Strix Serenade. Okay, Strategic Betrayal. Yeah, opponent must just be on removal here. I don't know, they might be going for something now. Okay, selling Mycospawn. So, I think I'm going to Consign to Memory this one. Let's hit that. Replicating and trying to keep our land as well. And then they get a free land, that's fine with us. Cavern of Souls is a little bit of a problem, but it's not that bad. Okay, so let's play out land here. Let's get out our Ragavan. Let's get out our Quantum Riddler. So red, blue, blue, red, white. Still keeping up a couple mana here. Okay, opponent just Fatal Pushes Monkey. Attack with Quantum Riddler. And then now we're holding up Subtlety for a large creature, Consign to Memory for triggers, Strix Serenade if it's a non-Eldrazi. An opponent is 100% completely in top deck mode, 1 card in hand. Okay, Witherbloom command, target player mills 3 cards, then returns a land card from graveyard to hand. And target opponent loses 2 life, gain 2 life. Yeah, nothing we can do about that. Which land did they return? Shifting Woodland. Okay. They have Delirium. Oof. Okay, but it's still not the end of the world. Don't have anything huge in their graveyard right now. Let's just grab... We're pretty good on mana here. We'll actually just grab an island. The fact that we're just about out of fetchables. Phlage is interesting. Let's just go for Teferi here. Get to return this Cryogen Relic and draw a card. Play land for turn. Man, we still got a lot of action here. Let's just go ahead and do our combat. Back with Quantum Riddler. We can flash in Phelia during their turn if we want. Play the Cryogen Relic, draw a card. More lands. Alright, but we've got Consign to Memory, Strix Serenade, Subtlety, Phelia. And again, opponent's still in top deck mode. Malevolent Rumble's pretty good for them. Okay. Emrakul the Promised End is a card that they'll probably end up taking. Yep, they choose Emrakul. So here they'll try to control us during our turn. We're going to Consign to Memory the trigger here. And then this can't be countered, but can be Subtletied. Those mean it's going to be a problem on a future turn, but... Actually, at this point, we can just Phelia the Emrakul away. Is that just what we're doing? Oh, but then we'd need a flyer. Yeah, let's just... Ugh. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do about this. Yeah, let's get the Emrakul here. I'm pretty sure they put it on top, yes. And then opponent doesn't have any more action. Now we get to bring in our Phelia. And then all us now. Okay, so we've got the multi-Phlage. So let's uptick to Fairy. We can actually scare the opponent here. Actually, can we just... I think we can just haste Phlage here. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We can actually just play a bunch of Phlages here. So if they want to do it correctly, they have to Tormod's Crypt now. Or I guess they could in response to the trigger. Okay, opponent did not do the thing. So let's exert white, white. Cast our Phlage from the graveyard. Okay, and opponent concedes it there. Alright. And then we still gotta go for one more game. Alright, we're gonna bring back in a Wrath over the Prismatic Ending, because Wrath can just hit multiple things at once instead of Prismatic Ending, which can just hit one. And send it back. Okay, I think this is a fine hand, we'll keep. So we've got the Phelia to Fairy Lock, hopefully. And worst case scenario, we've got Obsidian Charmaw, we've got Phlage. I think this is a pretty good hand. Now we fetch for Meticulous Archive. Phlage in the graveyard. And now it's going to make it a little obvious what we're going for, but we'll play the Sacred Foundry and pass it to the opponent. Okay. Go Phelia. Let's see if it lives. It's probably about to get Fatal Pushed. Yes. Okay, so here we can just go for the Arena of Glory and go for Teferi. They have some kind of weird counterspell for this? No. Still pretty good for them here, because I think we still want to downtick, bounce the Urza Saga, slow them down a little bit. Free uptick, they attack. It's kind of all the same thing, except we get to keep our Teferi around. Unless they can find something else to deal with Teferi, then we just don't get the value out of Teferi. I think here we're supposed to still bounce. Alright, through to the opponent. Alright, replays Urza Saga. Attacks us for 3. And then sowing Mycospawn. Here they just get to search for a land, they don't get to get rid of one of ours. It's gonna decrease the cost of... I don't know, because they go for Bajuka Bog. So I think here we do just go for the Obsidian Charmaw, hit the Urza Saga. Yeah, seems fine in this situation. It's also just a pretty decent blocker. Okay, so opponent gets another free turn here where they can do stuff without having to worry about Consign to Memory. I still explore from the opponent. That's pretty darn good for them. I still explorers like my Bane. But next turn we get to haste a Phlage and Consign to Memory its trigger. So let's see, we need 3 mana to haste the Phlage, 1 mana to Consign to Memory, so we don't have to lay out a land quite yet. Let's just go for the Scalding Tarn. Let's haste this. Make sure we tap correctly. Might run into a fatal push here, hopefully not. Try to keep the Phlage around. It's gonna be a fatal push. I can feel it. Yeah, it's fatal push. Yeah, nothing we can do about that. So, on to the opponent. I think we just want to leave back our Obsidian Charmaw to block here. It's just making a ton of land drops here. This feels like the new Jund in a weird way. Oh, Sire of Seven Deaths. We have also admittedly been getting quite flooded in these games. We drawn... I think we started off with 2 lands, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Have we drawn a non-land card this game? Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe it's 3 lands. I think we drew a Phlage, maybe? Oh boy, opponent's getting to go for something here. Probably a large K command. Yep, there's the big K command. They're gonna get to scry a bunch and Obsidian Charmaw. Maybe I should have read that and held up the Consign to memory. Really hard to say. Nah, I think we were just supposed to go for the Surveil land and hope that they don't have it, because we really need some action off top. Okay, I mean, Quantum Riddler's decent. So, no matter what we play out, it's gonna make the draws for the Quantum Riddler better. So let's just play it out. Yes, and then Orcish Bowmasters happens. And then we're just going to Elegant Parlor. Solitude seems pretty okay on top, and then on to the opponent. So we are getting walloped for 9 here. Maybe more if they have a Lava Spar Boots in their deck. Okay, opponent grabs Tormod's Crypt. Does make our Phlage in graveyard a bit worse. It's kind of how we were going to restabilize. Even though I know we've got even though I know we've got Solitude on top, I think maybe now knowing what the board looks like, maybe we were just supposed to go for the putting it on bottom and putting it into graveyard and then trying to go for Wrath of the Skies. So I think Wrath of the Skies is the only way we're really getting out of this. Maybe we mis-sideboarded a little bit. Maybe Wrath of the Skies was supposed to come in. Okay, what can we even try to make happen here? So if we Solitude something, they attack, we'll gain 3. We're still taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess we live with Solitude? Or do we? Do we? Yeah. So if we exile this, block this, gain 3, that's functionally turning that off. It's 3. Go down to 1, meaning we wouldn't be able to use our Arid Mesa. Or we could just go ahead and attack with Solitude. That's probably even worse. Yeah, we'll just pass it to the opponent here. So we can't use the Quantum Riddler. Okay, K command from the opponent. We can just counter that. Wow, this seems like a really good Ice Tail deck. Oh man, and now Ghost Quarters. How many types do they have? It's just feeling like an Emrakul here. I'm trying to think about what we can do here. So I think we do have to fetch here and hope opponent just doesn't attack all. Scrap lanes. Sign the memory, replicate. Target this. One copy's fine. Let's go blue, red. Copy will target the trigger. Oh, did I miscount my mana? Do I not have enough mana to do all that? No, because I also had to consign to memory the other thing. Yeah, no, we're just dead. If the opponent attacks, which they probably will. Unless they're randomly playing around Settle the Wreckage. But even if they just attack with one creature. Nah, we're done here. GG, opponent, you got it. Good game. We're on the blind, on the draw. I think we'll keep. Think this hand has some eventual heat. Hopefully we're playing against something more aggressive. I have never seen this icon before. What is this from? JDRF. I don't even know what that is. Okay. Well, let's see. Looks like something aggressive. Oh, Tamio. I do think I am interested in just like turn one bolting that. See, now I'm having to figure out whether I want to try to play around Force of Negation or something else. If it is an artifact deck, Wrath of the Skies. Not 100% sure what we're playing against. I think I'm inclined to just go ahead and hit this. Let's see, hopefully that works for us. Yep. Alright, maybe that'll blow the opponent off, whatever they were trying to do. I have a feeling it's like the... I don't know, maybe it's Wizards. Preordain makes me feel like it's Wizards. Okay, Urza Saga. Maybe I just have no clue what's going on here. Next turn we can actually bounce the Urza Saga, or we could just Wrath of the Skies the opponent if we top deck another white. Or we could just make a white right now with the Plains. Or with the Ragavan. Ooh, Aether Spellbomb's pretty cool too. Tough call, tough call. Let's go for the Aether Spellbomb. We can Wrath at a later time. So I think next turn we do just go for the Teferi. We'll have Aether Spellbomb for a construct. Then we can Wrath on a later turn. Okay, I do think there's some type of Affinity variant. So the Teferi will just be dead. Would they block a Ragavan here? I don't think they would block a Ragavan. Guess let's find out whether they would or not. Oh, we can just bounce the construct. Let's attack with the Ragavan here. Oh, and they go for Flame of Anora to just go ahead and deal with the Ragavan. Okay, that's pretty interesting. I think we'll just let the opponent kind of play out whatever they want to here, and then Wrath of the Skies. Maybe not even next turn, but the turn after. We might just draw off this Aether Spellbomb in the end. Alright, what do they grab here? Vexing Bauble seems maybe not the worst for them. Pithing Needle maybe stops the Aether Spellbomb. Maybe they grab Lava Spur Boots. It's really hard to say here. Just a Mishra's Bauble, okay. Okay, there's an Imri. Fortunately, it'll be a couple turns before we can get that under the Wrath of the Skies. It does explain why they went for the Mishra's Bauble here, try to get some value against us. What did they mill? Tamiyo, Imri, and Holy Heat. Scalding Tarn? That's fine. Okay, and I think here... I think I'm just okay drawing off the Aether Spellbomb. Okay, Galvanic Discharge is interesting here with Wrath of the Skies. We could just go ahead and Galvanic Discharge for 0, and then Wrath for X equals 3. But right now we're just getting rid of a Construct, an Imri, and a Mox Opal. They're going to start getting value out of the Imri, though. Maybe we just kill Imri this turn. Yeah, let's just kill Imri this turn. We can actually just save the Wrath of the Skies for a later turn, because we can just play the Teferi and bounce the Construct too, and then they've basically got no board. And this still gives us energy profited. Let's see, let's grab blue-white here. So, Hallowed Fountain here. Teferi. Bounce the Construct, draw a card, and onto the opponent. Feels like we probably have this game locked up with 2 Quantum Riddlers in hand, a Wrath of the Skies, Solitude. And already opponent playing out Urza Saga and Tamiyo makes the Wrath of the Skies pretty good here. Let's just get those Elegant Parlor out of hand, Wrath of the Skies for X equals 1, and then Quantum Riddler. So nice 3 for 1 there. Elegant Parlor, land a graveyard, Quantum Riddler. Draw a card. Uptick to fairy and onto the opponent. Okay. Go land. I think I'm okay just Quantum Riddler. Ephemerate? Or do we just go ahead and get in on the attacks? Or do we just go ahead and hardcast one? Let's just play it out regularly. Okay, more lands. We'll Ephemerate, keep it around. Okay, we draw another Teferi, we'll just pass it on to the opponent. Okay, they sink into Stupor, not a big problem for us. Perhaps Thundering Falls, land a graveyard. Nothing to target here. Draw will uptick to fairy. Play land. Honestly, I'm even okay with Thundertrap Trainer on top. We'll cast out the Quantum Riddler in hand. Hear me out, we could warp it. Nah, let's just take things slow. I don't see a need to go fast right now. I think we've got this game pretty much locked up. Okay. Holy Heat there is fine. Ooh, Cryogen Relic. That's a ton of draw for us. Here, let's just grab land. Guess just in case they have the Blood Moon, we'll do that. Cast Quantum Riddler. Cast Cryogen Relic. Bounce the Cryogen Relic to hand. Oh man, we're actually gonna have to move to discards here. You know, you're in a pretty good position if your concern is having to go to discard. We'll just discard a land. Oh, we have to discard multiple cards. Okay, and I guess second to fairy? Okay, Corey Steelcutter for the opponent. Hate to tell him, I don't think the Corey Steelcutter is getting him there. Alright, here comes the Mox Opal. Triggers the Monk. They're still not in a good position to attack because Quantum Riddler's just huge creature. I'll pass it back to us. Draw Consign to memory. Let's just go ahead and Prismatic Ending the Corey Steelcutter. Uptick to fairy. Let's just go ahead and cast a Solitude, why not? Get the token. And on the opponent, we've got Consign to memory if we want to cast it. Trying to figure out what the opponent's waiting for here. Okay, there's Memory. We're going to be able to hit that. Uptick to fairy. And then we should just be able to cast this Phlage here and bring it back. And that should be lethal for us. So to Fairy. Sorry, Phlage. Hit Emery. Ace this bad boy. Oh, so I have to target it. Target the opponent and attack out. The opponent. And that should just be it for them there. Alright, GG. Let's see what we've got in the sideboard for them. Alright, I think this is a fine matchup for us. So we'll bring in 2 Wrath of the Skies and 3 Mystical Disputes, cutting 4 Ragavan and a Thundertrap Trainer. Make the argument for more things to come in, like Force of Negation, Subtlety, Strix Serenade, High Noon, but I think our main board is just set up to kind of beat them anyways. Okay, we keep our 7 here. It's a fine 7. Well, it's going ahead and Mishra's Bauble, an early Urza Saga, which means they probably have Mox Opal next turn. Okay, they had a triple Mishra's Bauble hand. Okay, and we could hold up a Strix Serenade in case they have a turn 2 Kappa Cannoneer somehow here. Strix Serenade is also just so good with Phelia. This deck is just really revolved around Phelia here. It's just getting to counter something of theirs for 1 mana and then blinking it to get rid of the token. This feels great. Okay, Aether Spellbomb. It's peculiar to me that they let off on Urza Saga here. Okay, so we'll just go for red-white Elegant Parlor. We'll actually keep that on top. I'm fine with that. They get to see that we kept an island. Maybe they'll think we're off lands here. So play island, pass to the opponent. So they know what's coming for us. You don't get any constructs off of this Urza Saga. Maybe opponent just kept a 1-lander. That was kind of awkward, and the 1-lander was Urza Saga, but the triple Mishra's Bauble made them believe they could draw into another land and maybe even a Mox Opal. Okay, they grab a Mishra's Bauble off of it. And Orcish Bowmasters would be eating the opponent up. They draw off Aether Spellbomb. Opponent must be in just a peculiar place here. Okay, well, let's go for the Phelia. Opponent's probably got removal for the Phelia, I would imagine. Or maybe not. Alright, let's just go for the Teferi here. Okay, opponent's probably just got Mystical Dispute or some kind of counter spell. They're trying to do something here. Metallic Rebuke. Okay, makes sense. And then we'll just attack with Phelia. We're not even going to target their Mishra's Bauble here, because that might turn on a Core Steel Cutter for them. And on to the opponent. This is their free turn to do whatever they want. It's a creature, though. We do just get to kill it with Phlage. Okay, Unholy Heat on our dog. Now what are we doing with our turn? Let's see what we can get with Quantum Riddler. Okay, Metallic Rebuke on that. So I'll just take our lick, play the Meticulous Archive. Not even mad about Cryogen Relic. How do we feel about Cryogen Relic? Yeah, let's just put it into our graveyard. It fills our graveyard for Phlage. An opponent gets another free turn here. Corey Steelcutter. Yeah, we would have liked to be able to counter that. But fortunately, Phlage is just going to kill the Monk token. Oh, and an Urza Saga. Okay, pretty good for the opponent. No attack was peculiar there, though. Yeah, so let's... Phlage. Red, white, blue. I'll hit the Monk token here. And then we need another red. So let's go red, white, Sacred Foundry. And then we'll just cycle around the Quantum Riddler. Oh, Arena of Glory is pretty good with Phlage being in the graveyard here. Hopefully opponent doesn't find a Tormod's Crypt. I guess Counterspell would also be pretty bad for us here. Or Metallic Rebuke. They've already used 2 Rebukes, right? Yeah, 2 Metallic Rebukes down. They shock in a Breeding Pool, which is feeling pretty suspicious. Maybe they're trying to make Construct and equip the Corey Steelcutter to the Construct. Okay, Imri. Mill over a Torpor Orb. Okay. So on to us. So I do think we just have to go for the Phlage no matter what here, because next turn they just grab a Tormod's Crypt. If their last card in hand is Metallic Rebuke, it's Metallic Rebuke. Alright. Oh, okay. So hit Imri here. Go on the attacks. Okay, they have Unholy Heat for it. And it says it's artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers, so bye-bye Phlage. Opponent makes another construct. Grabs a Mox Opal. And here's Imri. Think we do care enough about Imri. We'll counter Imri. It's their last card in hand. We're not countering anything else anytime soon. And they get to equip the construct. They're hitting us pretty hard here, admittedly. I'm debating whether we go ahead and Solitude with the Teferi, or if we just try to Quantum Riddler next turn and then hold up the Teferi for later. I wasn't done thinking, but I clicked through, so oh well. So I was thinking Quantum Riddler's actually going to get to draw some extra cards if we do go ahead and pitch with Teferi or with Solitude. So let me think here. So cast the Quantum Riddler. Draw. And take a block there if they don't draw another artifact. So yeah, on to them. Yeah, we got to allow the Mox Amber here. And then I think we might be able to get the opponent pretty good if they attack all here, because we'll block the smaller construct. Oh, they're moving it over to the bird. Bird is the word. So block one of the constructs. Flash in Solitude, pitch to Fairy. And then we'll exile the other construct, make this construct smaller. Gets killed by Quantum Riddler. And then we'll get to draw 2 during our draw step now. So we're both in top decks, but I think we're in the better position here. Do we have another Surveil land? We do. Just put that in the graveyard. Yeah, we have enough to haste both of them here. So haste, mana, white, cast the Phelia, and then cast the Phlage, red, red, white, white. We still get to leave up the Consign to memory. We'll just deal it to the opponent here. Belly can get rid of the bird, and I think that should just be lethal here. Yeah, it was lethal. Alright, GG opponent, GG. Alright, we're on the draw. We kept our 7. I think Phelia plus Cryogen Relic's going to be a lot of draw for us. We've got a little bit of control with Consign to Memory, Solitude, and Phlage, so I'm happy keeping this one. Okay, back up Phelia in case anything happens to the first one. Something tells me we might be playing against the mirror here. Let's Meticulous Archive. Wrath of the Sky seems like it won't be that good in this matchup, and we're also probably just looking for our next land drop. And this is going to make it super obvious what we're doing now. Okay, opponent just goes for Meticulous Archive. So no Phelia from them yet. But yeah, this probably is the Jeskai Blink Mirror. Alright, let's see if we can go for Phelia number 1. Okay, and we find our next land drop. Let's go for Cryogen Relic here. Okay, and opponent goes ahead and removes our dog. It's just got blue mana. Are they gonna Consign to memory the Cryogen trigger? No. So here we'll just play the Sacred Foundry tapped and onto the opponent. Okay, just putting another Galvanic Discharge in grave. Guess maybe we shouldn't F6, just in case we do want to Solitude something. Speaking of things to Solitude, Quantum Riddler's not among the worst ones. Okay, and an Arena of Glory from the opponent. Quantum Riddler will just go away here. Now here it is mighty tempting to try to haste a Phelia and a Quantum Riddler. And you know what? Sometimes you gotta live life on the edge. Let's warp this. Blue-red. Ah, Strix Serenade, okay. Phelia then. We can still get value out of our Cryogen Relic here. So whenever it leaves or enters, we draw. So with Phelia, it's every time just draw 2, put a counter on it. Land from the opponent. Okay, opponent just goes for Solitude here. I think we're fine with seeing a Solitude against the Phelia. So here... I think I kind of want to just Galv Discharge the Solitude and then cast another Phelia during their end step. I want to go ahead and do this here. If they have Force Negation, that's fine. It gets 2 cards out of their hand. Let's just make sure that they can't blink their Solitude now. Fable the Mirror Breaker's a card. I don't think we're too concerned about that one. Okay, let's go for Phelia number 3 now. Okay. So now we have to debate between Quantum Riddler and try to get that with Phelia, or... Actually, yeah, I think I'm really happy doing that. Let's just fully red that. Okay, we found a land. We can play land. Here, I think I'm more okay keeping up the Consign to Memory, so let's just try to... How worried are we about the Fable? Nah, you know what? If opponent tries to do something, they try to do something. Let's Phlage here. Hit the Goblin Shaman token. Try to attack with the Phelia. This could be bad if they have a Consign to Memory. We're just gonna try it anyways. Feels like they have Consign to Memory. Yeah. Oh well, that happens. We have a Phelia, we have a bird, we have a Cryogen Relic. We've got Consign to Memory, we've got a possible Phlage coming at them this turn. Opponent discards an Ephemerate and draws a card. They don't have a Phlage in graveyard, right? Nope. Okay. Looks like opponent's just passing it to us. So we'll play land. We will go ahead and attempt to haste this Phlage. No time like the present, am I right? Does this get Strix Serenaded? Not yet. Deal the damage to the opponent. Okay, Solitude from the opponent. We are just going to Consign to Memory the trigger. And they should be dead now, yep, and they concede it there. Alright, let's see what we've got in sideboard for the mirror. Alright, so here I think we're bringing in Strix Serenade, 3 Mystical Disputes, a Force of Negation, a Subtlety, and a Ghost Vacuum, cutting Wrath of the Skies, 2 Prismatic Endings, and 4 Ragavans. If the opponent does get a Phelia, we do only have 6 answers to it currently. I guess Phlage is also an answer, but not as fast of an answer as we'd like. But the fact that it flashes in anyways makes Wrath of the Skies and Prismatic Ending kind of meh. And then Ragavan, even though it can provide a lot of value, you'll find it just getting killed by Phlages more often than not. Alright, we kept our 7, opponent mulligan to 6. Think we're pretty happy just leading off on a Thundering Falls here. That seems fine to keep on top. Onto the opponent. I think the fairy is going to be a big player in this matchup if it can land. Opponent puts Galvanic Discharge in grave. We'll have nothing for them this turn. I hope there's nothing that we would want to have consigned this turn. But normally turn 2, there's nothing that important to consign. Opponent just warps in a Quantum Riddler. Fine with that, they just cycle that. It'll be something to worry about later. Now, we have the option of also just cycling ours, though I think I'm going to hold off here. I think I prefer to leave up the Strix Serenade and the Consign to memory. Okay, nothing from the opponent here. Go ahead and go for Meticulous Archive. Thundertrap Trainer feels fine. Bit of a risk to go for Teferi here, but I think we're still just going to try to stick it. Because if it does land here, we're probably in a pretty good position. Alright. Opponent had the Mystical Dispute. Okay, on to them. So now, this is the problem with going for Teferi, is if they do have Counterspell, now they have their turn free without us having access to Counterspells. Okay, we just see another Quantum Riddler warped by the opponent. No... Okay, I was about to say no land drop. There's the land drop. Now it's on to us. So trying to identify what we even go for here. Let's Thundertrap Trainer. Take a Mystical Dispute. Opponent knows about that now. We Flooded Strand, and onto them. We'll hold up the Mystical Dispute and Strix Serenade. Consign to memory. I don't know, I just feel like we're in a pretty okay position. Opponent does have 2 warped Quantum Riddlers, though. Something we need to keep in mind here. See what opponent goes for. Phlage. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, we fetch. Let's grab Elegant Parlor. Phlage in the graveyard's pretty good for us here. And then what we can try to do is just go for our own Phlage here. How much do the life totals matter here? Let's just go for the Hallowed Fountain. And try to go for Phlage. Red, red. White, white. And then we get to hold up Strix Serenade to try to hit theirs. They try to go for one as well. And then hopefully no Phelia here from the opponent. Phelia would also probably just be a problem. Celestial Purge happens. Alright, let's hope we can win the counter war here. We have to hope that they don't have a Mystical Dispute here. Even if we counter this, they still got a pretty good graveyard going for themselves. Okay, gets countered. That's fine with us. We'll say this, if opponent has another fetch land, they can just fetch, surveil in a graveyard, and go for the Phlage again. See what we can hit ourselves. Let's warp a Quantum Riddler. Ooh, Phelia. That might change up everything for us here. We could consign the memory to keep our Quantum Riddler and then start Phelia next turn with a new Quantum Riddler. Yeah, let's go for that. I think I'm happy taking that route. And we're not even going to replicate here because I do want to leave up 3 mana in case we want to Mystical Dispute their Phlage from graveyard. Okay, opponent didn't go for anything here, so let's go for our Phelia. It's really suspicious that they didn't cast anything. So, Arid Mesa, let's Phlage the opponent's thing here. And now we get to warp the Quantum Riddler. And then we get to draw 3 off of this Quantum Riddler here. Okay, Strix Serenade, we could try to counter it, but it wouldn't matter in the end. Yeah, you get that, opponent. Yeah, now a fetch land puts us in a kind of rough spot. Debating whether we draw with the Quantum Riddler here. I think we do. I think I'll trade 4 damage for 2 cards. And just hope that the opponent doesn't have Consign to Memory. Oh, what does opponent have here? Solitude, likely? Oh, man, okay. Yeah, that happens. And that's going to give them enough cards in graveyard now. So now we're going to have to find an answer to a Phlage. Assuming they block with the Solitude here. Which they do. Man, that just went from bad to worse for us. The only way this could get worse is if they top deck an Arena of Glory here. Yep, here comes the Phlage. Okay, we can get a Phlage ourselves next turn. Okay, here let's just grab blue, 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 red, 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 white, 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 well, white. We'll grab the Steam Vents. Okay, Force of Negation isn't exactly what we're looking for. So go for our own Phlage here. Opponent probably gets to go for Quantum Riddler during their next turn. Just get them, pass to them. Alright. And then now the question comes on whether or not they're going to want to trade Phlages. Or if they just have another Phlage, they get to kill our Phlage here. Prismatic Ending. Let's Force a Negation that. Just not even give them the option. Opponent still has 2 cards in hand. Our defenses are down now. They've got 2 Quantum Riddlers warped. I think they're in okay position here. Okay, there's second Phlage from the opponent. So they get to hit our current Phlage attack, hit our current Phlage, and then they're hitting for 6 each turn. Yep, that's exactly what they're gonna do here. Yep, bye-bye Phlage. Alright. Ephemerate does us nothing. Not currently. So now we just Mystical Dispute their Quantum Riddler that they're probably going to try to cast this turn. And then next turn they get to go for their own Quantum Riddler. We're taking 9 here, though. Alright, down to 10 we go. Okay. Quantum Riddler from their hand. There's Quantum Riddler number 3 from the opponent. Man, land. Yeah, we're getting close to just being dead here. We actually can't even use that fetch, but we're just getting it out of the way in case we draw Quantum Riddler. We do have to top deck Answer to Phlage here, though. Oh, and they found land, so even Mystical Disputing their Quantum Riddler wouldn't be enough here. And we can see if they accidentally say no to it. Okay, well, let's just throw a Hail Mary here. Yeah, and opponent gets it there, on to game 3. I think here we'll cut the Thundertrap Trainer, since they can sometimes whiff, and bring in the Prismatic Endings. One more land in this hand would have been super keepable, but I do think we've got a mulligan there. Oh, come on, deck. Don't end it like this for us. We had a really good back and forth with the opponent. Don't make us mulligan to oblivion. Okay, we'll keep it mostly because we have to. We'll put back Consign to Memory... Mystical Dispute? Try to run it like that. Alright, take the fetch here. Let's go red-white Elegant Parlor. We're gonna need the extra land eventually, and if it's gonna be any land, I'd prefer it be an Arena of Glory. On to the opponent. Okay, Quantum Riddler from our opponent. So we could either Strix Serenade it now. Nah. They can have this one. Might be a problem for us later on, but I think I'm going to go ahead and get my Phelia down in case I top deck something that Phelia's good with. Just grab our Meticulous Archive here. We'll put that one in the graveyard. We're looking for something a little more relevant now. Oh my god, I forgot I was going to flash on the Phelia. I was supposed to grab an island there. Man. I'm sorry, y'all. I am so slow. And then we get the Quantum Riddler. Oh, man, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm letting y'all down. Okay, well, we've still got Galvanic Discharge and Strix Serenade here. We've got the Phelia and the Quantum Riddler. Oh, man. What a blunder. Yeah, we'll counter that. Okay. Sure to cast the Phelia this time. Okay, and let's just Galvanic Discharge the bird. Warp in Quantum Riddler, draw 2. Opponent's got the Solitude. So we'll only get to draw one here, assuming they're going for the Quantum Riddler. They are. Okay, we get a Ghost Vacuum. That at least should turn Phlage off. For the match. Okay, opponent gets a free turn here. Something tells me my Phelia is going to get Phlaged. Okay, Fable the Mirror Breaker happens. Don't think I'm too concerned about that. Here, let's try to get rid of the token with Phelia. Okay, that gets Galv discharged. Okay, happens. So, through combat, play a Ghost Vacuum. And then we could Prismatic Ending this. I think just knowing what we're kind of working with right now, that's kind of the route we have to take. And on to the opponent. So here, I'm just going to go ahead and eat the Solitude. And we're going to hope that they don't have Phlage in hand right here. Okay, they discard Arena of Glory land. So getting rid of some lands, trying to draw some action as well. Who knows, eventually maybe we can try to pop off with this Ghost Vacuum that we have. It's going to be a while though. Okay, here's a Quantum Riddler from the opponent. Think we just have to let him take that. Just a single draw, I suppose. Ooh, and then Phelia. But they're gonna Phelia their own Fable the Mirror Breaker likely, or maybe their Quantum Riddler. Here, let's yield until instep. Make them think we don't have anything. And then on their instep, we'll try to consign to memory the Phelia trigger, depending on what they exile. Okay, they're Quantum Riddler. Good, 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 good. Okay, no Quantum Riddler for the opponent. Okay, come on, top decks. That is no top decks. Guess let's go ahead. Pass to the opponent. Okay, another creature to worry about. Opponent's Meticulous Archive. Opponent attacks, targets their own Fable here. Let's just eat a card from graveyard. That way we can just yield until instep. Let's try to fetch for our last Surveil land. Okay, Quantum Riddler's the kind of stuff we're looking for off top. We were confident we could try to Arena of Glory this Quantum Riddler, see if we top deck a Phelia. Doesn't matter, opponent's got Mystical Dispute anyways, which we can't pay for because we've been hurting on the lands. They're hasting something crazy here. Well, maybe not. Alright, here comes a Quantum Riddler. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we gotta find something quick. Alright, top deck of the century. Yeah, that's game. GG, opponent. GG. This hand's okay. We'll keep. Okay, opponent also keeps their 7. We'll go for the Flooded Strand here. Probably grab Thundering Falls off of it if we don't need the Consign to memory this turn. Meticulous into graveyard. Just play the plains and pass to the opponent. Cavern of Souls naming wizards. Is this Merfolk? Dowerport Mage. Whenever one or more creatures you control leave the battlefield without dying, draw a card, pay 2, return another target creature you control to its owner's hand. Interesting. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here. I feel like we could just go ahead and Phlage this. I don't know how much I have to worry about my life total here. Play the Arena of Glory. Go ahead and Phlage. We'll just hit the opponent for 2 here. See Chrome Coast. Okay, Sanctum Prelate from the opponent. Chosen number is X equals 1. We could get rid of the Sanctum Prelate and functionally dash on the Ragavan with the Arena of Glory. Or we could just hardcast the Ragavan, link it with Phelia. No, I think I want to dash the Ragavan here. Alright, this is really bad for us if the opponent has an answer, but let's Prismatic Ending here. White, blue, red. Done. Cast the Ragavan. Go and attack. Phelia target nothing. Get some damage in. Maybe get something castable from the opponents. No covered planes. Alright, on to the opponent here. Urza Saga. Okay, I've ran out of trying to figure out what's going on here. Okay, another Phlage. I still had the Arena of Glory around. I could have Phlage and Consign to memory the trigger. Let's just attack, find out what's going on here. Nothing to target with the Phelia. Alright, something good from the opponent. Land again, okay. Debating whether we go for Phlage, probably. Okay, opponent Aven Interrupters. Okay. And then what we can do is just consign to memory that trigger. Yeah, now we'll just kill the Aven Interrupter instead now. On to the opponent. And then next turn we'll have enough to haste Phlage from the graveyard. Okay, Meddling Mage. Probably naming Phlage. Yep. Name's Phlage. Okay, so now we got options. If we wanted to, we could Solitude. I think what we're gonna do here is we'll probably attack both. No, because that wouldn't work. Alright, we just gotta hope opponent doesn't have answer to the Phlage, because I think this is the right play here. Just cast by exiling. Get rid of the Meddling Mage. Cast the Phlage. Opponent's got an Aven Interrupter. So it becomes plotted, and then spells your opponent cast from graveyards or from exile, cost 2 more to cast. Okay. There goes our Solitude. And let's just get rid of one of their creatures here. Get rid of the Meddling Mage. They'll probably block the Ragavan here. Oh, they don't block anything. Interesting. So let's just cast the Phlage from graveyard. Oh, which also includes that. Okay. Okay, on to the opponent then. Get their Meddling Mage back. They get to name a new card now. Solitude, yeah, fair. Okay, an opponent can seize it there. Let's see what we've got in the sideboard. Alright, here I think I want to bring in 2 Wrath of Skies, a Strix Serenade, a Mystical Dispute, and a Subtlety, cutting 2 Thundertrap Trainer and 3 Ragavans. I think keeping in 1's fine, but I definitely don't think I want to see multiples against them here. Probably just gets blocked and killed, but I think in a lot of situations that's probably fine because we're still just trading with their creatures. Okay, this is an okay hand. The Ephemerates don't do a lot, but I do like Strix Serenade plus Phelia. Hopefully they don't have an early Cavern of Souls again. Okay, and more lands wasn't exactly what we needed here. Okay, Drannith Magistrate. Your opponent can't cast spells from anywhere other than hand. I think we're okay with that one for now. So let's just grab Thundering Falls here. Keep the Wrath of the Skies for later. So now maybe we just hold off on the Phelia instead and just try to Wrath them during a good turn. Okay, there's another Drannith Magistrate. No attack from the opponent's a little peculiar. Let's go for a Meticulous Archive here. Phelia into the graveyard. Okay, we'll play Flames here, just pass back to them, and we're going to hope that they play another creature or two during their next turn, and then we'll just try to Wrath the Skies them. Oh, what was that? Sky Hussar. Forecast. Tap 2 untapped white and or blue creatures you control, reveal this card from your hand, draw a card. Whenever it enters, untap all creatures. Wow, I've never seen that card. That is a very interesting card. Okay, here comes Aether Vial. So yeah, I think we'll just go for the Wrath of the Skies here. Hopefully opponent doesn't have a counter for it. And then starting next turn, we can actually start playing the game. I just don't want them to continue drawing extra cards here and then building up a defense against Wrath of the Skies. So, Dowerport Mage. And what is this? Flying Vigilance, you have Hexproof. Whenever this creature is dealt damage, you gain that much life. Okay. So, what we can do here is Phlage, Flicker Phlage, and then get rid of the opponent's board here. I'm pretty happy with that plan. So white, red, red. I'll gain some life here, that's fine. And let's ephemerate the Phlage here. Let's go ahead and kill the Dowerport Mage, and onto the opponent. And then this here is going to be enough to cast the Phlage from graveyard. Backup Phlage. Okay, let's go ahead and try to get this Phlage out here. This opponent might have an Aven Mind Sensor here or something. Spell Queller. Let's counter the Spell Queller. So now we get to get rid of the bird. Go ahead and take the attacks. Soul Partition. Exile target non-land permanent. For as long as that card remains exiled, its owner may play it. A spell cast by an opponent this way costs 2 more to cast. Did we just ephemerate this to avoid having to, like, try to cast this for 5 on a future turn? Nah, we'll just allow it. Opponent's going to be in top deck mode. Okay, Harbinger of the Seas isn't that big of an issue for us. We've already got out of plains and a mountain. Okay, Island followed up. We've got Phelia. If we want to, we could actually just go for the Phlage again here. Should we just go ahead and cast the Phlage? Probably. Get rid of the Harbinger. Onto the opponent. Got a Consign to memory just in case. Probably should have tapped a little bit different, granted, but oh well. Okay, another Phlage. Could use it just to load up our graveyard. I think I just want to save it as removal. Cast the Phelia. And then we have the Consign to memory. Question is whether I want to Consign to memory this. I think that's fine. Let's cast 2 additional copies of it. Same target, same target. Yield to all. so that way it's a few less creatures we gotta worry about. And then Flash and Phelia. Okay, Solitude's not bad. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're not quite there. I was gonna say we might just be able to cast the Phlage here, Ephemerate it, deal some damage to the opponent. And then try to load up the graveyard. Nah, we'll hold off. We're in a pretty winning position here. I think we can just control the opponent out for the rest of their game. Okay, Phelia, go do your thing. No point in blinking the vial, but this vial is never going to get above 1 if our Phelia has anything to say about it. You know, it feels scummy, but sometimes this is just what you do. You just control the opponent out, beat down with a 2/2. Gotta say, I do like the blue-white Death and Taxes deck list, though. I'll just keep doing it to him. Ooh, Cryogen Relic. Don't mind if I do. So this is actually going to be a ton of draw for us now. And then do we also want to go ahead and play a monkey? Sure, monkey. Show me what you got. Alright, so this is going to draw us on leave and on enter. Okay, we actually get to hit the opponent here. Get a Sol Partition. Yeah, I think we'll just hold off here. And on to the opponent. Opponent's making a plan here. Wizard cycling, that's fine. And they grab a Dranith Magistrate. Sure. Enters, each opponent exiles a card from their hand and may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Sure. That's fine. I know they have the Dranith Magistrate in hand, which combos really well with this, actually. It's a really unique deck. Oh, we get to choose an exile when this creature enters each opponent. Each spell cast this way costs 1 more to cast. Each land played this way enters tapped. Sure. 3 mana Ragavan, still fine. And then Sky Hussar. Yeah, we're fine with that. We'll probably just Solitude Ephemerate. I guess we don't even need to Ephemerate it, really. I'll grab this. Just cast a Solitude. Get their Sky Hussar. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Fetch means we can go for Phlage. Yeah, just have it come in untapped, why not? We could also just have this come in. Red, white, red, white. cast the Phlage from graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Welcome back, everybody. 3-2 for the league. Granted, one of our losses was to Jeskai Blink, so kind of feels like a weird 4-1. It's still a win for the deck. Deck is performing very great. I loved the Cryogen Relic. I think anytime I play this deck in the future, I'm going to be using it with Cryogen Relic. Because something I didn't realize is how well it works with Teferi. We play Cryogen Relic turn 2, turn 3 we play Teferi, bounce our own Cryogen Relic. So this drew us a card, Teferi drew us a card, it being bounced back to hand draws us another card, and then we can cast it and just kind of go for it all again. I definitely wouldn't play more than one, but one Cryogen Relic feels phenomenal in the deck. I'm happy to have gone up to 4 Phelia. The list is typically on 3. I think 4 Phelia is really where you want to be. I think this is just the most powerful card in the deck. Thundertrap Trainer. It was okay. It performed okay. There were moments where we really wanted it. There's not often where we want to offspring with it, because whatever we grab off of it, we want to go ahead and cast in most circumstances, so the offspring on it doesn't really matter that much. And then sometimes it will just whiff. Sometimes you will just reveal like a couple lands and a couple creatures, and you just spent 2 mana on a 1/2. I think for future iterations of the deck, if we're still playing this many creatures, which I think we probably should be, I think I'm going to cut the Thundertrap Trainers and put in something else. Most people are on 2 Fable of Mirror. I think that's good with Phelia. Sometimes it just feels a little slow. You have a lot trying to go on turn 3. Maybe I bring in like 1 more Ephemerate, maybe 1 more control spell, but yeah, I think the Thundertrap Trainers have got to go. Rest of the deck feels really solid though. I liked how Strix Serenade played. I like 4 Consign to Memory main board. Ragavan comes out in a lot of sideboard matches, but I still think it's very much worth playing in the main board. But yeah, that was Jeskai Blink. Well, that's going to be it for the wrap-up. Thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, comment what deck you want to see me play next, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out.